Hello gang, DD DeVere here on a past blast, playing a classic retro game of yesteryear. And today we're playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 3 and trying to find out if it stood the test of time. Has it? Well, let's find out. This was of course released back in 2001 and was originally for the PlayStation 2 and was eventually ported to the PC in 2002 as well as other platforms such as the Xbox. A quick casual glance for the options. You've got your controllers set up. You can also use this with an Xbox controller. Now you can redefine your controls, and of course you've got on foot and in car, so you can set them up separately. As you'll see, some cannot be rebound. I'm not sure why. It is what it is, I guess. It's a bit odd. Your mouse settings, which is your sensitivity, and you'll probably want to crank that right down. As well as mouse controlled steering, which I always tend to leave off. I'm going to skip the audio setup because it's a lot of radio station stuff. Very nothing you wouldn't expect to see anyway, by and large though. Yeah, your visuals are mostly not many, shall we say. That's the easiest. But screen resolutions, yes, 1080 at least is supported, as is widescreen, although it's a slightly stretched widescreen. But apparently there's a patch. A player-made patch to deal with that. And then language and just a player setup. So with that done, the player setup was, of course, this was originally going to have multiplayer was the plan, but that got dropped during development. So this is a single player game only. And what I shall do is I shall start a new game. And I shall see you guys and gals in-game once the game has started.
On the edge of the red light district where we can lay low, but my hands are all messed up, so you better drive, brother.
There we are, Liberty City. We are Claude Speed, the silent protagonist in this particular instalment of the games. And of course, we'll be doing the driving, because we always do. It's Grand Theft Auto. So I suppose the first thing is the visuals. Well, I mean, yeah, they definitely show their age, of course. This was, as I say, it was developed for the consoles in mind first and foremost. They never really made use of the extra powers of the PC, so all very much blocky and very sort of flat-edged of everything. Ground shading, so that's always nice. The textures are a bit low res by today's standards, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, there's hooligan. In the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of detail, and there was more sort of litter and props around on the PC version compared to the others. So what we'll do is we'll get the first couple of missions out the way, then we can have a proper look around. Obviously, because it's all the early missions, all more really tutorials than anything else. Oops, I just missed that.
This is the place right here. Let's get off the street and find a change of clothes.
And of course, in Grand Theft Auto style, there's your safe houses where you save, store vehicles. And every time you save, it moves time forward 6 hours. So you can also lose your heat here. Just going to quickly grab something. There we go. Whoops. So we are at the beginning of our career criminal enterprise. So we don't have access to much other than baseball bats.
Let's go around the back and use the service door. Wait here, man, while I go in and talk to Luigi.
Meatball's got some business upstairs. Or maybe you could do me a favor. One of my girls needs a ride, so grab a car and pick up Misty from the clinic, then bring her back here. Remember, no one messes with my girls. So keep your hands on the wheel. If you don't mess this up, maybe there'll be more work for you. Now get out of here.
Pick her up from the clinic. So of course there is a fairly, yeah, the AI isn't too good about making its way around parked cars in this game either. Oops, daisy. I suppose many people are thinking, how does this handle with mouse and keyboard? As a lot of driving games don't do too well. And surprisingly, this is actually fairly decent. Oops, Mr. Turning again. Usually then, yeah, they're usually a bit too twitchy, but this is not bad in the grand scheme of things. Most other Grand Theft Auto games are a little bit too twitchy. But this one, yeah, it's pretty spot on. You might still want to keep a controller nearby though, because there is a bit later on with some flying. Because in Grand Theft Auto style, of course, you've got, I guess, 56 vehicles in total, including boats and cars. No motorcycles. You've got your usual trucks and lorries and whatnot. So a good selection of vehicles, that's for sure. But yeah, motorbikes came in a later one. I don't know, I'm heading to my hideout. I want to go to Luigi's, don't I? So there are some control oddities here, like, for example, turn down the wrong street again. You have to look left and right. There's no in-car mouse look. You have to hold E to look, and E and Q to look around. And then you have to hold both down to look behind you. It's a bit cumbersome. It's one of the controls that can't be rebound to look behind. Somewhat annoying because when you're on foot, you can just tap caps lock to look behind you. Out the way. So yeah, there are some oddities like that. As I say, definitely turn that mouse sensitivity right down because it's super psycho when you first start playing. So that was as easy as that. You'll also notice the cars don't take much damage in this game either. We might as well do one more mission while we're here. Yeah, that can cost you in later games. Oh, that wants me off foot. In the later games, some of the enemies will have shotguns, automatic pump-action shotguns, or pump-action automatic shotguns. And they can blow these starter cars to pieces in seconds, wasting you instantly.
Luigi said to give you this, so here, take it.
There's a new high on the street. Goes by the name of Spank. Some wise guy's been introducing this trash to my girls down Portland Harbor. Go and introduce a bat to his face. Then take his car, respray it. I want compensation for this insult.
At least the voice acting's pretty good throughout. This being the early game, there's not got quite the star cast some of the later games got in the way of actors. But what there is pretty good, and there's a lot of it. As you'd expect from Grand Theft Auto, you're going to meet a lot of quite wacky individuals, that's for sure. So all in all, whoops, plenty of side missions. Some of the traditional side missions there, of course, the ambulance, the fire truck, and the police car vigilante missions. But the rewards aren't that great in this version. Right, let's just get him lined up. There we go. That's always the easiest way in Grand Theft Auto. Oh, what? He needs to touch the old correction stick. There we go. Bit of an attitude adjustment for that uncouth youth.
Then I called New Beginnings. Thanks to Fernando.
So I'm sure you know if you get heat, as you commit more crimes and the police start chasing you, you generate heat. You see up the top right there by the star indicator. If you've never played a Grand Theft Auto game, that was just bad driving. And so you can respray your car for a bit of cash and you instantly lose the heat levels. Or you can get to your safe house. And then of course there's the audio of, you know, not just the voice acting, there's also the audio track. A lot of it was actually, or a lot of it, some of it was actually specifically recorded and just for the game. Although there's still plenty of well licensed tracks as well. All the different channels, which I'll skip through a couple of them now, because you can guarantee this is probably going to get me a load of copyright strikes on the channel for sure. Especially the older. Where's the old chat box or flashback? Oh, Tony flashback DJ, she's brilliant. Just worth this channel one just for her. The chatterbox was of course Laszlo Jones. But we won't listen to that right now. But not to give any spoilers, obviously it's a comedy chat show. It's supposed to be a parody or a riff on the actual talk shows, but it's obviously very, very tongue-in-cheek, some brilliant characters on it. So even if you don't decide not to pick this game up, or if you haven't played it in the past, I highly recommend you go to YouTube and type in GTA 3 Chatterbox, because some people have loaded up the whole channel. It's only about 20 minutes, half an hour or so. Oops, I'm going the wrong way, it's in there. Now, move, come on. I don't have to, I can just run them over, of course. But that's the beauty of Grand Theft Auto, because that was the thing when this got released. I mean, this game was absolutely epic, of course, at the time. The amount of vehicles, the different weapons you find, the amount of missions and things that were going on. I mean, I mean, it's still fairly big today. It's not so much when you're driving, perhaps, but you can get around, because of course it's broken into 3 areas. At the moment we can only play in the first area, then as the game progresses you go to the second, and finally they open up the final area. But this was really epic. You could drive around on, you could get onto the railway system and use that to move around. This was really quite groundbreaking, but there was also a lot of controversy at the time. It really got the moral majority and the Puritans up in arms about it corrupting our children. Not the ability to just run over people or jump out and, you know, apply the attitude adjustment stick. So has it stood the test of time? Mostly, in all honesty. The amount of side missions, story missions, the voice acting, the radio tracks, the size of the area, controls. Yeah, say the odd slight finicky, can be a bit jumpy in places. There's the odd glitch as well, and of course in typical Rockstar fashion, this was a sort of relatively half-hearted port. So it's good to know they're consistent in all these years, and they're still doing that to this day. So yeah, there is still some issues. Occasionally when I start the game, the UI will be sort of faded out. And it eventually pops in, and yeah, there's little glitches. There are some fan-made patches out there to address things and make a few changes. I believe there's some HD mods out there as well, but I've not tried any of them yet. So yeah, just for the sheer amount of content, although in the way of side stuff to do, there's no phone. That's a good thing. There's nobody phoning up on the mobile every 30 seconds asking you to go and play pool or something. That's definitely an improvement. Those who haven't played Grand Theft Auto 4, when you return to Liberty City, you'll know exactly what I mean. My God, how did they think that was a good idea? But lots of vehicles. Sad that there was no bikes. Of course, there was one very particular thing that got a lot of controversy going. I should have gone and picked up some guns. You can find pickups around the place. What I'll do is I'm going to use the magic of the safe house. That's a great thing. I mean, this at the time was absolutely revolutionary. It really was. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way again. It's still an absolutely still a lot of fun to be had with this game. It really is. And there's all jumps and races. There's little little side like destruction missions and race missions. There's taxi drivers like that taxi we just passed. So a lot of these got expanded on in later games, of course, but yeah, this was the first of them. So what I'll do is I'll put a quick save in here. Right, that's time's right. And we'll go and see something that caused a lot of controversy at the time. Well, this car might be a bit too damaged. Let's find something better. That'll do. You just have to be careful because you can get carjacked yourself in this game. Oh, he wants his motor back. No, no, not happening. Oh, is he not? No, he's not dead. Oh, let's sort that issue out. Oops, they're a little bit fast at lows, turning at low speeds. Does he still after me? That can sometimes make getting a clean getaway quite awkward. Oh yeah, he's brown bread now. Sorted. So let's go start some controversy and hope the YouTube censors don't see this next part of the video. Now get me demonetised for sure. Oh, they're always driving the wrong side of the road. It's no wonder these people have so many bloody accidents driving on that side. Everyone knows this is the correct side to drive. Whoops. Oh, there's also collectibles and things to pick up as well as the weapons and whatnot. Dear, oh dear, terrible. I'll get there eventually. Yeah, bushes are still bulletproof in this one as well. Oh, there's a way out. Where do you people move? Yeah, I'm probably going to go get another car because I think there's the way out here. Alright, let's go up over here then back to the main road. Oh dear. Right, I don't want that. I want there. Oh, there's another one of them. I think, as I say, it was something like 56 vehicles. Oh, the plod saw me. Whoops. A bit too close. Move. Don't really want to be caught. You get busted, you lose your money, you lose some money, and lose your weapons, of course, when that happens. Oh, here we go. So yes, the first thing is you can pick up ladies of ill repute. I get one that seems to want to talk rather than anything else. How typical. Lady like this, you've got to romance them, guys. Right, so let's go somewhere quiet. What about down here? Yeah, somewhere down this end should be good. Right. Any moment now. Oh great! I get one that's. I get the prostitute that's concerned about privacy. Right, let's find somewhere else. I hope I'm not paying extras for this. Right, what about somewhere here? You look at the health bar at the top right there. It recharges your health. So that caused a lot of controversy at the time. The corrupting our children, picking up prostitutes. Yeah, the press went on a right moral majority crusade about it. You can tell this is a video game, completely fictional, because no man can last that long in real life. To be a digital character. But this was the other bit that really got the old goat up the the blue-haired shamoos. Was you could get your refund of the money you just spent and your health boost. Yeah, that really it's hard to believe it now in this day and age, but yeah, at the time, yeah, this was really quite quite the controversial thing. So, has it stood the test of time? All in all, yeah, as far as it goes. You got to say, other than a few glitches and a bit buggy, there are some fan patches that can help address this. You get a lot of content. Typically, there's a lot of story. Yeah, it's your typical Grand Theft Auto story, crime, betrayal, etc. You know what's coming up. Decent weapons. Enough of a selection, as I say. There's little challenge missions you can find, like destruction ones. There's the fire truck missions. Different side character missions as long as your main story missions. So you're getting a ton of game for it. You get a fairly big play area that, yes, visually does look a bit cumbersome. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things for the age of the game, more than acceptable. And to my opinion, allowing for nostalgia goggles, I guess. And it's just fun tooting around. But yeah, just beware that difficulty spike mid-game. That's because, like most Grand Theft Auto games, you also start making enemies. And when they've got the pump-action shotguns, they can toast you in seconds. So you have to keep that aware. Make sure you've got some armour and one of the more exclusive cars, shall we say. So we'll conclude our dealings here, gang. Grand Theft Auto 3. Absolutely worth it, in my honest opinion, especially as it's fairly cheap. But you can also get the pack with Grand Theft Auto, Vice City and San Andreas, and we'll have a look at them in due course somewhere on this channel as well. So anyway, gang, hopefully you found this video useful and entertaining in some way, and as ever, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to let me know that you're alive. And I shall see you all next time.
You're listening to the Fat Lady.
Bye for now.